Okay guys, so it's wee Bob here, and you can see my big shadow on the screen, I think. Ooh, hello. Anyway, here to do the Friday Foursome. Oh, let's try and get this set up. Oh, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? Yes. Okay, hello. We're here to do the Friday Foursome. Novabug quite kindly mentioned me in his start again. He mentioned me in his Friday Foursome number 18 it is, and it is kind of weird hearing another YouTuber mention your name. Very odd. I guess hopefully I'm something I'll get used to as I progress through this channel of mine. That has went quiet for some time, and I do apologise for that. I have done another video talking mainly about PC gaming. Something that I've got a few PC games. I'm not a big PC gamer. And so, anyway, Friday Foursome. And the question this week is, I've got it wrote down here, I think. Movie tie-in games. Oh, it's on the screen. Really? Anyway, excuse me. So on the screen it says the Friday Foursome #18 movie tie-in games from Novabug. Already got 174 views at the time of me making this video. I have watched it from start to finish. He does put Crow's response to the last video in, and I watched that previous to him putting that into his stream, so I skipped that when I was watching this because I did enjoy Crow's response. What a room! I mean, that guy's got, I don't know how many of those little bobblehead guys on his wall. I mean, it was like a wallpaper of little toys. I wish I had a room like that. Mind you, I've got a nice cabin, which I'm quite pleased with. But I don't have that amount of stuff, and I don't have that amount of old consoles because they tend to get, I tend to declutter, even though I'm a hoarder, and I've got various things in my loft like a ZX81, and I've got a whole bunch of Commodore Zap magazines. Anyway, movie tie-in games, and I am going to start from modern, going back for a little bit of a change. And there's a modern, kind of modern, and then old school retro games. So my first movie tie-in game, and it is a little bit of a cheat, but there is movie tie-in, and it is PlayStation VR, and it's the Batman game. I'm trying to remember the name of it. That's terrible. I was meant to write that down. Anyway, it's the Batman game that's come out for PlayStation VR. I think it's called Arkham VR. Is it? Anyway, it's a game that's not based on a particular Batman movie, but there is aspects of it which are taken from the Batman movies and crossing a number of generations. But what I love about this game is the start. I mean, you start on the balcony with a massive helicopter behind you. When you put on the VR, it's like nothing I've ever experienced. I think my last ta-da moment was Sonic the Hedgehog, and then it was PlayStation VR. When I put on those goggles and I looked around, I was in a game. It's a strange feeling. If you've never tried it, I would say try it. It's not as good resolution as you would maybe expect. Or not, okay. So, Batman starts in the balcony. You look over Arkham or over Gotham. There's some Easter eggs in the background that I'll let people look for themselves. The Riddler's in it, the Penguin's in it, the Joker's in it, and it's a very well put together experience. I wouldn't call it a game because it doesn't last long enough to be classed as a game, and it's an investigation game. Again, it doesn't really tie in with a movie, but I'll talk about the bits that's going to movie tie-ins, and those bits are you start off the game in your manor and you play a little bit on the piano and you literally descend into the Batcave on the elevator, and it is a strange sensation to have the VR goggles on and you're descending in a lift and there's parts moving past you, and even though you're standing in a room on the floor, you feel like you're descending, or at least I do, into this cave, and the back cave just expands out in front of you. So in the back cave, the movie tie-in part is the whole Batman genre. I mean, the movie you meet the Joker, you meet the Penguin. In the game you meet the Joker, and it's creepy seeing the Joker so close to your face, especially when you maybe don't expect to see him. And I won't say any more than that. And you've got to go to a morgue and do like analysis of crime scenes. It's a very good game. The graphics on it are great from my point of view. I know people complain about the VR and the graphics, but when you're literally standing in an alleyway, the rain is pouring down, there's a fight scene happening in front of you, and the people are the same size that you are. It's hard to explain. PlayStation VR and VR in general, I think, is going to be huge. Once they increase the resolution inside the headsets, including on Oculus and on Vive, because I believe the PlayStation VR's not far off what they are. I think VR is going to be big. Anyway, movie tie-ins. So, Batman, you can collect the old 1990s Batman movie with Jack Nicholson, Michael Keaton. You can collect the original Batmobile, and you can turn it around in VR. It is full size. It's there in front of you. You can turn it around, tip it up and down. It's like on a big mechanical display for you to look at. You can collect full size models of Batman. It's hard to explain, but in VR everything is the same size that you are just now. It's not on a little screen in front of you. So you can collect a 1990s movie Batman, and you can stand in front of him, you can turn him around, you can make him do some punch moves by putting in certain cartridges into a console that's next to you. It's just a great experience. But movie tie-ins, it was great to see the 1990s Batmobile full size, having never been to one of these museums where they have them. So anyway, that's number 4 on the list. I'm going to do the countdown to my favourite, and it is going back the way. So the next one's probably the Star Wars Lego games. It's probably this one that I'm talking about. It's a complete saga, and it follows the movies very well. As a Lego game, so if you've ever played a Lego game, I haven't played the more recent ones that seem to be more open world, but I've played this one and I've played Harry Potter. I have played the Batman one as well. But yeah, that's bring it in closer so you can see. Not get this light shining on it. So it follows the movie very well. It's a Lego game. It's all about destruction and collecting, and the Lego games have a way of pulling me in for a long period of time because I want to see my coins go up. I'm not sure what you call them. I want to reach that gold level. I want to get all the little hidden secrets. And I've spent hours and hours and hours playing Lego Star Wars. I haven't played it in some time, but in terms of movie tie-ins, it follows the movies in a comedic way. The cutscenes are taken and they just parody them into a Lego world. And if you haven't seen them, you should, because they're really funny. And yeah, it's good. It sticks quite religiously to the movie. You fight Darth Maul, Phantom Menace. You fight Darth Maul. I'm trying to think of the more recent ones. So you go in your speeder from memory. But it has been some time since I played it. But they follow the movies very well. And I have to say, I'm a Lego kind of fan on that. I think maybe they're doing it a bit to death, but Lego's Lego. You can't really diss Lego, particularly I've still got a big box of Lego that I've had since I've been a kid. My kids have got it and we still play Lego on occasion. So that's number 3, which is Lego The Star Wars Saga. Number 4 is Batman on PSVR. This one's PS3. There we go. And then we're on to number 2. And number 2 goes a bit further back. And it goes back to Ghostbusters. And I played the Ghostbusters game on my Spectrum. I've got some notes because I tried to prepare for this, and I'll interject some screenshots, some gameplay that I can steal off of YouTube. Sorry, I never said that. Some gameplay that I can find on the internet. So Ghostbusters, I'm trying to see, just check. Ghostbusters, from memory, it's like and I looked at some videos before I did this vlog response. There's like 3 parts to the Ghostbusters game that I can remember. You start off by upgrading your Ecto-1 car. You bring in like ghost catchers and different items that allow you to get ghosts while you're driving to catch a ghost. And it was kind of set into three sections. The first section is like it looks like the Pac-Man layout, and it's the buildings of New York, presumably, with ghosts at a different building, and you have to drive your car to that building in a kind of Pac-Man sense. When you get to the building, you then get a top-down view of your Ecto-1 car, and you're driving, and there's ghosts coming down the screen. They come down the screen, and you have to try and drive your car to get the ghosts as they come down, and you can catch them if you've got the right equipment on your car. And then when you get to the scene, you've got your trap, you've got your Ghostbusters trap. You've got 2 little guys, and they've got a stream coming out, and you have to move them back and forward. There's a ghost floating around up here, and eventually once you get the ghost, you can try and bring your guys in, but you have to try and get their streams so that the streams don't cross the streams. Anyway, you do that, and then when you get ghosts comes above your trap, you have to hit the button, and hopefully the trap goes and catches the ghost and goes just like that, with all those sound effects included, just for effect. Anyway, so the graphics, I played it on the Spectrum, even Spectrum 1 to 8K, I'm guessing. The Spectrum I used to have had the cassette tape attached, and it was the do. And if you look on YouTube, you'll see that sound. You can find Ghostbuster gameplay. I'll try and put some in. So yeah, loved it. It follows the movie to an extent. You're catching ghosts in New York. I never actually played the game to completion. I don't remember why. There is a chest moves about. I'm guessing it's the gatekeeper and the keymaster, and there must be more to the game that I have never seen. I did try to look online before I came on here, but from childhood memory, Ghostbusters was a great game. And that brings me Ghostbusters number 2. Number 3 is Lego Star Wars 4's Batman PSVR. Number 1. Number 1 is Rambo First Blood Part 2. And it was again on the Spectrum. And I loved this game as a kid. I loved it. I've wrote down a few things here to try and, so it does follow the movie. You don't start in jail. You don't have the colonel come into the fence and asking you, do you really want to spend the rest of your life here? That was my bad American accent. So you don't have that, but you start off in the jungle. And it follows the movie because in the movie, Sylvester Stallone loses all his weaponry and all his technology when he jumps out the aircraft. And so he gets down, he's not got all the weapons. And in the game, you start off with a kind of basic pistol, I think, which is obviously like a little pixel that goes up the screen, and it's isometric, I think. It's kind of isometric 2D. So you can search and you can find better weapons, which I always thought was great. It was like power-ups. You're looking around, you find a machine gun, You know, typical way that all the little guys go near, 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 and they all fall over while Sylvester Stallone's just standing there, giving it loudly. The music was following the It's a Long Road. I love Rambo. I especially love the First Blood Part 1 with the big cop who he just wants something to eat. Why are you pushing him? I mean, it's just a great movie. If you haven't seen Rambo 1 or First Blood, go see it or get it. Watch it, because it is brilliant. Even my wife watched Rambo when she was sick. I was like, you need to watch this. And I put it on because she couldn't move. And she watched it and she really enjoyed it. So Rambo First Blood is great. But anyway, the game Rambo 2 wasn't so good. I didn't think, in my opinion. But the game was great. The music was great, the graphics were good, you had little trees, you had to make your way in to find the prisoners of war, who presumably, or from the movie, had been there from the end of the Vietnam War. And you were to go in, and again I did a wee bit of research before I did this, so I found some gameplay just to refresh my memory. And you're going up and the fence line is blue, and you're trying to get into the compound, and they've got these little isometric buildings, which is where you have to find the prisoners of war, and you've got enemies coming from all directions. You have to try and shoot them. Again, lovely sound effects here. Could get a job, I'm sure. Anyway, yeah, you get in, and I think this is probably my best bit. You get a helicopter, and this helicopter goes up in the air. It's got bombs. You can shoot, blow up stuff. And I remember doing that as a kid and thinking, this is brilliant. And yeah, I played that game a lot. The helicopter part of it was just, I can't remember a game being like that. There was a game called Choplifter where was it Choplifter? There was one called Cyclone as well, where you had to rescue people. It wasn't a Choplifter, it was Cyclone. It was on the Spectrum, and it was again an isometric, and you were to fly over, and the little hook came down from the helicopter and picked people up. And this helicopter in Rambo 2 could fly around, blow stuff up so that you could save the prisoners of war. Great game. So number 1 is Rambo. So 4, I shouldn't really keep repeating this, but you can fast forward. 4 is Batman. I think it's Arkham VR. PlayStation VR, brilliant. Really need to try that if you haven't. Number 3 is Lego, the Star Wars saga. Number 2 is Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters is number 2, and I played it quite recently. Number 1 is Rambo 2. I was going to mention, and I've got it here just to remember, I then moved on to playing Desert Strike on the Mega Drive, and Desert Strike for me has to be one of the best games I have ever played in my life. I used to play Desert Strike with the Top Gun soundtrack in the background. I'm flying into the danger zone, I'm going to take out your little Hellraiser, I think it was called Hellfire, missiles, and I'm going to take you out, Mr. who doesn't look like somebody who was a dictator. You're going to die. So yeah, Desert Strike, Rambo 2 led into that isometric helicopter gunship. Fantastic. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So Novabug, I hope you enjoy this response. It's saying 19 minutes that I have been blabbing for, and that's quite sad. So anyway, thank you for the mention. Hopefully I'll keep up these vlogs. Work, life, everything's mental, and I want to play some games. Red Dead Redemption I put on, and I put a vlog on of it, and I haven't even had a chance to play it. So thank you guys, hope you enjoy the video, and I look forward to the next Friday Foursome, because it's definitely sparked me to come out to the cabin to do this video response and another video at the same time. So cheers Novabug and everybody else, and it's great. Cheers, see you later, bye.